Let's get things straight, right off the bat. I am in no way, shape, or form powerful. I'm not a powerful human being. I'm not the most powerful human being in the world. I know a lot of you guys perceive it that way because I'm the line of Adam, Moses, David, Jesus, John, but that doesn't mean I'm powerful. Jesus isn't talking about himself when he talks about the power and the glory. He's talking about omnipotent God. He's the faithful one that gives us faith in all. He's the humble one. He's the gracious good shepherd, the one that helps us protect ourselves from our own ego. The Quran, Holy Jihad, Batman, right? And so, when you come to me and we talk, I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. If you want to hear bullshit, go talk to yourself. You're real good at that. I'm not. Praise the Lord. Thank you. And so I'm watching Super Bowl 13. I was 12. This is when this was. So I was 12 when we left Las Cruces. Mom held me back. After this Super Bowl, we moved to Pasco, right? Because we were celebrating the Super Bowl, and I got flipped off by the plumber. Went outside, and then that summer, that was our last. Holy crap! Linda had Gabe in June, so she was outside jumping around with us celebrating the Super Bowl. She was at home with us still, but she was pregnant with Gabe. That's right. Heard they had to get married, right? It's too funny. But I'm sitting here watching this Super Bowl. Misty watercolor memories of the way we were. Can it be that it was all so simple then? Nor has times. Hi, Lupe. But guys, Donald Trump doesn't tell the military what to do. They're Barack Obama. Okay. He didn't mass murder over those people. He got put in the position of office of president to try to help and protect people to the best of his perception and ability. And he was in way over his head. And the only person that's not way in over their head is Parsons, because he's the gracious good shepherd and he doesn't waver. And he'll get it done, just like Rockefeller and Rothschild said, with all these new uber smart, they're better than him texters. And Rockefeller and Rothschild told them, you're not. Okay, you're not better than Parsons. No. Not even on his worst day are you better than he is. Okay, but he's not the most powerful human being in the world. No one is. God is the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. Right. So, that was a good defense by Donnie Shell. Yeah. But, oh man, I'm tired. Staubach was a good quarterback. He was a good football player. I couldn't stand him because he was on the other team. But, man, he was really good. Yeah. He got sacked 7 times by the Steelers in 76. Was that Tony Hill? Yeah, that was Tony Hill. Okay. And there's Butch Johnson. So, yeah, no, we lived in Cruces, so I knew all the Cowboys as good as I knew the Steelers. We watched the Cowboys more. They were on TV every Sunday, I didn't watch them that much. Everybody else did, I tried to watch the Steelers every time I got it. I don't know if that was the year that when we lost to Cincinnati. Pittsburgh's got the goddamn fumblies. That was funny. She'd cuss. Oh, she'd cuss when she watched football. She's Sergeant Murphy's daughter, guys. Okay. Oh, she never cussed in front of him, but when she got on her own, Pittsburgh's got the goddamn fumblies. Got the damn shittiest fucking kids in the whole shitty fucking goddamn. Oh, Mom. But guys, you gotta have faith. And yeah, we're always called like the peace be upon and man of sorrows and stuff because, when people are unfaithful, they make life miserable, right? And kids are so cute. And kids, I watched one of those St. Jude commercials, and me and Jesus get really pissed off. Because it's not necessary. You live the Lord's Prayer, you sustain it with the faith of Psalms and the wisdom of Proverbs. You're not going to have a bunch of kids dying from cancer from Detroit, Cleveland, Chicago. Take me home, country roads, to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama. And they're getting little things to me. Earl, it's the military and the military scientists that kill everybody to stay in power that are doing this. And we have our money and we're done, but we're doing what we have to do to survive, or they will kill you. I know, guys, I get it. Thanks. Message received. Are you going to... We're going to have the whatchamacallit turned off, the dish turned off next week. So I won't really be able to watch much of except for reruns, highlights on YouTube. So, I'll find out who wins from the highlights on YouTube. And because we won't have the games on. Dad's not really into the NBA. He likes college. So by the time college football comes on, we'll have some kind of a YouTube thing set up if I haven't cleaned up this hell yet. Hopefully, let's hope Earl's cleaned up this hell. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Are the little BTS kids singing down in the Sun Bowl? I'm hard on everybody. They're cute. Yeah. Shut up, Lopez. You can't, I adore my kids, and I love them, and I want to spend, a whole lifetime loving them, and, and I love my wives and stuff, and, my wives were absolutely hideous to me. They were terrible. Okay. But how many of you are standing up for Lord's Prayer with me? Look at you. You're watching these goofy ass commercials with, with an alien on the golf course, an alien. Yeah. It's not unusual to see Mexicans on a golf course. Okay. An alien. People are just stupid. Don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about. Okay, Earl, listen to me. I'm the Messiah. I know what I'm talking about. I'm truthful. I have faith in the truth of creation. Okay. Listen to me. Don't listen to people. Well, let's make money. Hey, let's manipulate people with money. Hey, let's feel powerful because we have money with technology to manipulate people with money and technology. Let's listen to Earl. He can protect people with technology from technology, but he can't protect them from himself. So let's all listen to Earl so we can protect ourselves from ourselves. Right, there you go. So, yeah. No, I'll go. I didn't watch. Hey, look, it's Marilyn Olsen and John Brody. Okay. And Kurt Gowdy. It's, oh my gosh. Look at how young they were. Well, Kirk's not. He played on that championship. No, he graduated, didn't he? Yeah. He was a senior when Kenny Sailors was a freshman. That's right. Okay, at Wyoming on the basketball team. Yeah. It's interesting. It is bizarre. I used to sit there sometimes because I'd sit when I was younger and I'd watch and I'd go, how the fuck is that guy playing? But, it's like that song by Joe Jackson, Is She Really Going Out With Him? How the fuck is that guy playing major college basketball when I didn't? The fuck? I'd obliterate that guy, right? And you would sit and do that sometimes. It's like, what the fuck went wrong? What was wrong? There's something really wrong with the world, No, my dad knew. My dad told me I could play anywhere, Kansas, UCLA, what a good ball player I was. So did my mother. That's why they moved to Phoenix, to get me out of the little Peyton Place bullshit of Cruces, and it was worse in Phoenix. Yeah, it was worse in Phoenix. It was. Cruces was bad. But I guys, if I had listened to Johnny Campbell, because I wasn't the Messiah, right? And I wanted to play basketball like the rest of you folks, I'd have been a professional basketball player and all that stuff. If I had listened to Johnny Campbell and got Paul to go down to Gaston, we would have whooped Cruces and Mayfield's ass and took out Hobbs and took State. Oh, they wouldn't be able to stop me and Johnny Campbell with me and Paul. No. Even though Johnny Campbell was he was our post player and he was 6'3" or 6'4". That's all we needed. That's all I really need. Okay, so no, guys, I was amazing. Okay, when you gave me the balls, and Paul was an exceptional shooting guard, exceptional athlete. Okay, he was better than Martin Diaz. Martin Diaz got a scholarship to Weber State. Okay, and Paul was better. I used to watch him in practice guys all the time. I played with Paul when I was younger and stuff, and everybody knew it. And if we maybe we would have been able to talk Robert Leidenheimer and going down with it, that wouldn't have been devastating. But Johnny, let's get Martina. We'll talk Leidenheimer into coming. Yeah, and I don't think anyone would have cared if Leidenheimer toked up on the bus because the school trainer drove the bus back from Alamogordo because Kaufman was drunk when Las Cruces won the championship in '76, for crying out loud. Or no, it was after that. It was during the playoffs. Yeah, he told me about it. Yeah, he got drunk and I drove the bus back from Albuquerque. Yeah, but yeah, his grandpa or his dad's like a bus driver, so he can drive. He did like stuff in summer school. So he was, because you're in your 16, but he had his commercial driver's license. So Kaufman wasn't being irresponsible. He was just handing over the keys, man. Handing over the keys to the teenager because he got drunk, right? No, kids in cruises in the 76 team used to blunt up on the bus. Yeah. Arvisu and Beetle. They were big potheads. Okay, yeah. I grew up with their friends. Yeah. Okay, do you understand? Zach Isaacs was always high. That's why he didn't take his scholarships. He knew he wasn't going to play that much, and he was blunted. Yeah, he looked at it and saw, all those black guys that go to Nebraska and all those places he got scholarships to. He kind of looked at it and said, I'll work something else out, but I don't think I'm going to play. I think they'll give me a scholarship, but I think I'll, play special teams. He evaluated himself intelligently. He was a good football player, but he knew he wasn't as good as the guys that go play at all the places he got scholarships, though. What they do is they offer, back then, that was the John Robinson era and the Jackie Sherrill era. And they had a lot of bigger schools had unlimited scholarships, and they could give 8 McDonald's All-American running backs scholarships, so Fresno couldn't give the guy a scholarship and beat you with. Okay. So New Mexico State didn't get Purvis Atkins and Bob Gators. It was a business, guys. You didn't have to pay them. You just had to pay for their scholarship. And once you got in there, it was real hard to get out back then. And the business was to win. That's why you had Willie Parker and Terrell Owens back then, and that rarely happens now. God, people don't understand business. They are so dumb. Thanks, Lupe. Thanks, Jenny. I love you guys. They have no clue how business works. No, thanks, Benny Medina. Thanks, Benny. I got you. I understand, dude. You can believe half or don't believe half. I understand, guy. I understand. Dude, what happened with that happened with my wife, and it affected our kids, and happened with my son, and affected the kids. And dude, God, you're like Chunk too. What are you, Jennifer? It's the first time we've ever really talked much. You okay? I know I asked that, and he's, guys, one foot in the grave, one foot at the door. And then he's asking you, you got the best spas and the best this, and you live in the best places and the best Wi-Fi zone. And the guy's asking you, are you okay? I'm surrounded by a bunch of mass murderers that want me dead and try to isolate me so I'll die from depression from all people trying to wish me dead with their prayers, and correlating correlating it with computer programs. But yeah, I still want to know if you're okay, dude. Life's eternal, grace is infinite. We're all given life by the glory of God, dude. I love you too. All right, man. Hang in there, dude, okay? All right. Benny, if you do I'm going to be, Benny, Chunk, seriously. Go get some ice cream, okay? Of course Haagen-Dazs. Was there any other ice cream? There's great. You can make homemade ice cream like on Andy Griffith. That's true. You can get the strawberries and make the homemade ice cream. Yeah, and then help save Bill Bixby. You got good tech support. So you got some friends in low place. I know there are good people around here. I know, Benny. I pray every night to Jesus to help us, get us all that want to live the Lord's Prayer through safely. Okay? You too? Okay. Hang in there. Okay. I'm hopeful that Jeffrey did a good job on it too. And I'm certain that we also have people in Korea and in China and other places throughout the world that understand that living the Lord's Prayer is perfect, and they're not addicted to beating everybody and being a complete narcissistic dickhead. Right, there you go. Thanks, dude. I, do you really you have a mohair suit? Electric boots? Okay. I'll have to see that. Go Jets. Funny. God dang it, dude. That's funny. Okay. No, he told me to connect, so I did. And then this last one didn't know. It's like, okay, well, they heard what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. And they're, let's go in the wrong direction. Don't, hey there, you there. I like the Dixie Cups too. But, no, I didn't hear, what's her name? The Cuban lady? I didn't hear her till Jennifer pointed her out to me. I never knew who she was. What's her name again? But it wasn't until college that I got Miriam Makeba, and I don't think Jennifer knew who Miriam Makeba was either until she met Oprah Winfrey and shit. I love her too. She's so good. I love her. Lion Sleeps Tonight. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. Yeah, her voice is. I like the Tokens, and the Tokens are really good. Okay. But when she sings it, you feel it. Wow. It feels more than authentic. It is authentic. Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah. It's really good. No, Miriam Makeba is one of my favorite singers. She's Pata Pata is good, but I love, oh gosh, yeah, that's gorgeous. Yeah. Malaika is one of my favorite too. Yeah. I was never bad with money. I don't like it. You know the lyrics. Okay. Yeah. I like Harry Belafonte too. So, you okay? Okay. No, I'm all right, dude. I'm good. I'm tough. It's not that I'm not concerned about my children or their moms or anything like that. There's only so much you can do, but life is eternal and grace is infinite. And even Jesus himself said, unto the faith of the eternal faithful Father, I commend my spirit. So he was talking about us. He was putting his trust in us. All of the ones that are yet to come and so forth. And in the time of the kingdom of heaven, everybody accepts the faith of the faithful Father and shares it worldwide. And so we know that's what Islam means, right? Well, he's a Medina guy. Okay. That's cute. No, I explain that to people all the time. I remember explaining that to the Iraqis and the Mexican immigrants in Casamia. It's like, guys, you do know that the Arabs occupied Spain for like 700, almost 800 years. And a lot of the words and the things and the phrases and you have are similar, and your architecture is, and so forth, and your cultures. Medina is the name of the town where Muhammad, Medina, right? And then you have people in Spain called Medina. Okay, you think it's a coinkydink? That's funny, dude. That's funny. Okay, no, it's not. Okay. Oh, Helen's the best. I hope. Oh, yeah. Gosh, dude, you're talking about a guy who served in the military, and in order to cut on quote the pork barrel spending, I saw most of my unit get chemical exposure from the CIA to save money and die from it, and go through the same symptoms my cousin went through, and which I'm feeling right now. I just survive it better, and people get mad at Halliburton. He can survive it and recover, and I'm dying from it. Yeah, but you killed people and laughed for a paycheck. I tried to save all those people from getting killed and save you from killing them. And then you're upset because I can recover from this, and I have a better immune system than you. Anybody in their right mind would realize I can kind of see why the Messiah has a better immune system than trained murderers for corporations. Kind of makes sense. You can see how people say, because Medina, yeah, it comes from the Muslims. That's why they're mass murdering the Muslims. I know, Benny, that's 1322nd in me. I know. I love you too, Doc. Because he's a Medina. He has relatives that are being mass murdered in the Middle East, guys. And some of his family are the mass murderers in the Middle East. two at every fucking barbecue and family reunion. The NASCAR's wrapping up in the background, and the rest of them are going to a Klan meeting. They think they're in Idaho. Remember that joke about the dude with the potatoes? This lady said you have to get a thing and hang bananas off the side of your counter, so they feel like they're in the same environment where they grew. And the one guy goes, the comedian sat there and said, well, that was the same guy. Yeah, it was the same guy who did the bus driven by a nun. Yeah, he is very funny. But he says there, and he goes, I put my potatoes in a box of dirt from Idaho and hold white supremacist meetings every Thursday. So the potatoes fill it home. It's funny. I think that was the same dude that talked about the Yoplait, where it said try again, and he thought Yoplait was just trying to inspire him. He didn't know it was for a game for money. It's funny. Oh, I see why Max likes you. Oh, so much. Oh, that's funny. Uncle Benny, yeah. As the kids have told me. Okay, dude. Be okay, all right? Boy, those dancers are cute, man. They got nice bodies. I had a pretty nice body in 2017, if your intel's any good. Linda Pontius, he didn't look that good. You never saw me get in and out of the shower. My butt and legs were a little thin, but the muscle tone was good. Because I was 51, I could broad ditch, out of the ditch, and Ryer had a good, I've always been one of the most, guys, I was the fastest human being on the planet when I was a teenager. Okay. I don't think they understand. I always held back. They knew. No, they didn't. They don't have the same kind of technology back then when they did. No. Right. Okay. Yeah, my son, exceptional. Yeah, very exceptional track athlete. Yeah. I think a lot of people will tell you that, Patrick's a really, really, really good athlete, and he didn't play sports, and he could have, but he ran into a lot of the same shit coaches in Tempe that I did in Glendale. And, which was really weird because Patrick was, I hung out, I had the same, he actually did hang out with him. I had the bad reputation, and I did hang out with the potheads, and yes, I did, and I went to, and I gave a sermon. That was only once. Patrick was about, no, Patrick said he had trouble with alcohol and using drugs and lots of promiscuous sex. He had a lot different environment living with his mom and with the Taysums from the Mormon church than I did. I had two parents that were, pretty much, my dad, those kids, when we were leaving Spokane, asked them to buy alcohol. I said, I don't buy it for myself. Why would I buy it for you? And he didn't smoke. He didn't drink. Mom did, and then stopped, and then did again after she divorced my dad. She went, I don't think she smoked again, but she drank again. Yeah, she liked her wine. I don't like booze at all. I hate booze. The only times I've ever got drunk, I was aware of what I was doing, but I was doing and did things I regularly wouldn't do. And so I didn't like it, so I didn't do it again. I had better moral controls and a better intelligent moral compass when I was sober than inebriated, so I didn't like that feeling, so I was, no way, we ain't doing that again. Right. And so, been down one time, been down two times. I like Lindsey Buckingham too. I think I'm in trouble. Yeah, I like that song too. He's a very good guitar. I think he's a good guitar player too. Yeah, I do. Kind of underrated with the thing. No, he's very good. Have you heard the guitar on Fleetwood Mac? Well, that's Lindsey Buckingham. And I think I'm in trouble. That's Lindsey Buckingham. Yeah, no, and the guitar on that is very good. He's a good musician, and he writes some pretty good tunes, and he sings them well. I like Lindsey Buckingham too. I totally agree. Some people are just haters, Benny. I know. It's just the way they are. You could, there was somebody the other day, I can't remember who it was. Oh, John Morant. I was in the barn, and we were talking about players that would probably that would be able to go at it with me and have a real good game by the time I hit my apex. And I said, John Morant, you got to give the devil his due. The kid can play basketball, right? And then the big thing is Could he? No. I was faster and quicker than he was, and I could jump higher when needed. And so, even if it was just to dribble, attack, stop, jump up, shoot a shirt, that's how I usually beat people. Was dribble, stop, cut across the lane, or dribble, stop. When I was really on, what was the big thing was most of my mid-range jump shot. Just dribble, move, threat of the pass, rise up, splash. I was the king of mid-range shooting, and you couldn't stop me because I was too quick, and I could jump and just shoot it right over you, real easy like. And it was pretty, and it was like Charlie said, it was soft. I used to shoot out in the barn or outside. I shoot, and it kind of just sets in the net. It's so soft, it kind of just goes up like a little kid, like Giannis's daughter went up and tossed it in. Yeah, it's that soft. It'll just kind of sit in the net, doof, real softly. And I've always had that kind of a jump shot. It's just the way I shoot. I'm not trying to, throw the ball into you're shooting so. But, yeah. So thanks, Benny. This was really cool. I was not expecting this. With Jennifer, with that video on the two things that I watched with Entertainment Tonight, it should have been, I know I should have been expecting it. Shut up. Because Benny brings them in for the one girl from the one show to talk, and he's in there with her voice coach. No, not one lesson. You can tell, can't you? Not one voice lesson. No, I got in trouble with my choir teacher, and I didn't want to sing. It's because I didn't want to be made fun of. It wasn't because I like to sing. I didn't sing in front of people until Sierra Vista. And that was on Fry Boulevard with my headphones on, with cars all around, And then I would do it down by Fort Huachuca when I was walking Zeke, where there was no one around to hear but just me and Zeke and the military. And then I started singing in front of people. But before that, I would not really. I would goof around with like Brian and singing Bobby DeBarge and say sounds like Skinner's Cats, but I never really earnestly started singing until YouTube, and they had me connect to Jennifer. And when I sang, Luther Vandross and the Temptations and stuff like that, that's the first time. And did my Tommy Edwards. That's the first time I've ever sang in front of where people could hear me sing and put effort into it and say I'm not a bad singer, except for never mind, Natalie. Yeah, when Amy was no longer being abused and her abuse wasn't affecting us, and I was in the shower and I was singing George Benson and Lou Rawls. Yeah, and Natalie heard me and she goes, "Oh, Dad, you're a good singer." It's like, your mom says I suck at it. Kelly's lots better than me. I don't know about that. And Kelly's her dad, her biological dad, but Natalie was real sweet. No, you're a good singer. And I was like, well, you made my day. Like the lady with the, oh, no. What's that? Tell Will and Ryan not to be afraid. I tell them I love them. And tell Laura I love her too. Laura and Tommy, we're lovers. Okay. Is Will there with you? Okay. Dang it, Farrell. If you show up in a pink bunny outfit and tap me on the back of the shoulder saying I'm a meanie tonight, I swear I'll make sure that your curls don't look natural and get all frizzy because it'll be too humid. I swear I'll make it rain. Like Will Ferrell, he's funny. Okay, dude, we'll talk later, man. But yeah. So, okay, no, message received. I got it. Thanks. Hang in there, guys. Focus on living the Gospels. Focus on helping the technology get better globally. 50,000 of us can take what 8 billion of us are distracted by and literally get it to work right. It's most perfect. That's how technology is going to work. Not what the people want to hear, what they need to hear. What is right, not what I want because I'm selfish. Okay, thanks, Benny. Love you, dude. Okay. Medina all the way. And then let's get together and let's go to Mecca. We'll walk to Mecca and make sure the Mecca is... Guys, there's right and there's wrong. We don't have to walk anywhere anymore. We have global communications. Just stand up, think right, speak right, and be right, and do right. All right. Thanks. Yeah, Gospel of Paul Davis. Yeah, dude. All right. Peace out, man.